XML Deserialization. What is meant by XML? XML is an acronym for Extensible Markup Language. So first of all, we create a simple XML file. We can create in a notepad, or we can add it here in the Visual Studio in our project itself. So click on add new item, and you can search it here or directly type it from here XML. So it will be get filtered file format. So this XML file one. For this XML file format, we are going to create a sample employee database file. So once file got added, you will find this is the default format got created. Start with employee DB, and then close it. So while closing, the same name will appear with the /. So inside this node, you can add your further subnodes, child nodes. So child nodes in employee database may have employee working in different department. So take example of admin department. Admin department, we have employee. So for each employee, there must be employee ID. So we'll give EMP ID. EMP ID, let's say as a sample employee ID, we'll give as a 1111, and EMP name. EMP name as, let's say, Umesh. So once employee name added, here also you can close this with a shortcut also. Here instead of / here, you can close it from here as well, and you can remove this one. This way also you can add as a shortcut. This is for admin department. You can add further departments. So here add a software department, software, and for this software department also we're going to add employee. You can copy the same, just change the employee name and ID. So let's just 2222, and here let's say take home car. Then add further more department as manufacturing or factory department. So here I can copy the same and just change the name to factory. So this opening tag should be matched with the closing tag. So factory, you can close it here. So employee ID 333, and here you can give, you can change the employee name as well, like this. And so you can add one more department as a procurement. Here also you can have to add closing node as well, and here you give this 4444 in the name as Vinayak. Our file is ready, that is sample XML is ready. Now after building this file, this will go into build folder, that is the debug folder. So to make it is always available at the debug folder, so make it copy always. Start reading this file. So we need to use a stream reader because this is going to be a XML file. So normal text reader, it will not work. So stream reader we have to use to read this stream of XML. So initialize the stream reader class, which is already there in the system.io inbuilt in the .NET framework. So stream reader, and provide a path for the file. Now file is stored at our solution only, where our project is going to create executables. Directory dot get current directory. In current directory, I'm going to store, I have this file. So what is my file name is employee data.xml. So this is file what I have available in my current domain, and you can build this one. Once we build this one, you can see this bin debug net 6.0 XML as a demo. This is got compiled, and along with this our file also gets stored in this folder only, where the executable created. Here you can see XML Deserialization demo.exe got created, and in that, this is how it's got generated here. Okay, once this data is ready, so before proceeding for deserialization, we need to create a class for this serializable class for this XML file. So here are two ways to create it. One way, we can directly create using a feature which is available in this Visual Studio. So first of all, add one class, add class employee DB. Okay, create a class, and for this class, what we are going to do, we are going to generate a XML to the class. So go to edit, paste special XML as a classes. So ready-made class will get generated. You can see this ready-made class got generated with all full implemented properties and these fields. Or you can create your own class by typing it yourself. how to type this one, I'll just explain you in detail. So just remove this what we added as a automatically. Okay, so how can you do it? So you just keep this file for your observation, what you are going to create it, how you are going to create your class from this XML file. First of all, this is a root node, that is employee database, employee DB. So copy this one and create a public class for this one, public class and employee DB. So this is going to be a class, but now this we want to make it a serializable. So add a serializable attribute, serializable. So this class is going to be serialized. So add a serializable attribute. And what is the next we have admin, software, all, factory, employment, procurement. These all are the child nodes for this employee DB. So all these needs to be as a classes. So add one more class. Ideally we should add each class in different file, but for demonstration purpose I am just adding into the same CS file. So public class, and this admin, remaining department will add by copying here admin. What are the remaining classes we are going to add? For this class also we need to add a serializer attribute. So add serializer attribute. For creating a remaining class, I'll just copy this. So software, to software, this is the admin, and then factory, the factory, and at last there is a procurement department. Add this procurement department. So our root node, this is for root node or root class, I can say. Now this root node becomes a class here. And this is child node 1. Okay, and this is class 1 got created here as admin. For each node we created one class, and for each class we can see there is a one child node as an employee. So this employee class also need to be created. So we'll create employee class here, that is also serializable and employee, public class employee, and now again for this employee class what we have, is employee ID and employee name. So these two properties we need to create as a employee ID and employee name in this employee class. So create two properties, integer emp ID and property string emp name. This we have to create, and this also needs to be with the XML attribute. These are the XML attributes. These are the XML attributes. So this attribute name we have to add for these two properties. These are the XML attributes. So build this one what we created, and to just avoid this warning, you can make it as string.empty for this one. Empty, just to avoid this warning for nullable. Okay, now our class is ready. So now you can see this employee is added for each department. So this employee property we need to create for each classes. So employee properties of an employee type, and you can give it as an employee property with the same name. This is going to be employee for each class. We have to add factory, software, and for each employee we have added. And now this all admin, software, these all are under employee DB. So we need to create those properties for employee DB. So create it prop. So admin, this is admin property we need to create for admin, and then for software create the property of a software, creation of object, then property what we have next department as a factory, and the next department is procurement. So all are linked now with this employee database directory. So now everything is ready. Now we can start a deserialization of this employee DB class with this root node. So now come back to our client code and start creating XML serializer. Namespace here, new XML serializer, a type of employee DB. So this is a type for the serialization which we are using, because this is our class name, that is a root node. Okay. So now then what we have to do, the data which we are going to read from this stream, we need to deserialize into the object of this employee DB, and create object equals to XML type of XML serializer, type of employee DB, and XML serializer object which we created, then dot deserialize, and this passed is a stream reader to object, or pass this the stream reader for the deserialize method. Now what will happen? All the data which is read from the stream will be deserialized into the type of employee DB. What means deserialization is converting the file data of XML into the class object. Now we'll check whether this class data, the stream XML file data, whether converted into or deserialized into employee DB or no. So now we can just print this result on the console right line. DB dot, let's say from software department, we want to print employee ID, employee, and employee ID, or here we can say as a employee details from the software department. We'll see more beautiful output on the console screen. Employee details from software department. We are going to see the employee details. So this is employee ID. So to show the employee ID, we can make as a string, and you can add this everything into the string employee ID. Make it into curly brackets so we can show it as a string as an employee ID. And for employee name also, you can copy the same, and you can just print here employee instead of ID, and change this employee ID to the employee name. This change we have done to print on the console screen. At last, to hold screen for some time, just make it console.read line or read key. Okay, make this read line so it will hold our output screen. Now build it and start running it. Now I'll start running it, and you will find these details has been read from the database, and you can see here. So employee details from the software department, and this is employee ID 222, and you can compare with this our actual XML file. You can go here in the XML file, and you can compare this output. So this is what we have read it from this employee details, employee ID 2222 from software, and this is Omkar as employee name.